All right. Hey everyone, good evening. Can you guys hear me okay? Oops. Just check my microphone. Can you guys hear me okay? Is my connection okay? Sorry, let me just check my microphone settings. Would someone? Okay.
We can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, just change my microphone settings. Thank you. So let's just wait for a minute or two for more people to join. So, good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Wednesday Zoom session. So we have Anne. Hi, Anne. Good evening. We have Larry, Soribio, Paula. Hi, Paula. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Wilma. Hi, Jemmy. Good evening.
Good evening.
Hi. Awesome. So let's wait for one more minute. Okay. Okay. All right. So I guess we can start, and then the rest can just join later on. So welcome everyone to our Wednesday talk. This is the member-supported Pure Land Buddhism Center of the Philippines. My name is Kevin, and we do these lectures regularly. We post them on Skype and on Facebook. So if you haven't liked our Facebook group yet or joined our Facebook group yet, please do so. I'll be sending a Facebook link later on. And yeah, I'm so happy that you guys are here. It's pretty, I think for the past few days, it's just super um, rainy, right? But now, at least here in Mindanao, it's already like the sun is out a bit. So we're hoping for better days, and hopefully in your area it's not flooding because the past few days it's really flooding here on our end. So let's start. Tonight is a really interesting story. It's kind of sad. It's a sad story, but we have lots of stuff to unpack. So I'm gonna ask for two volunteers to read, if you don't mind. Let me just pull up the story here. So I'm gonna need one person to read on the left, and then the other person to read on the right. Who would like to start?
I do.
Awesome, thank you, Larry. Go ahead.
I would read the one on the left.
Yes, that's
Okay.
right.
The destructive power of speech killed 24 times many. A very old woman, over 120 years of age, once had a visitor who commented, "You must have had rare and interesting experiences over the course of your long lifetime. Will you please share one of those memories with me? I'm sure lots of things did happen, but my memory isn't what it used to be. I'm afraid I have forgotten them all," replied the old woman, shaking her head. The visitor sympathized, saying that was only natural for someone of her advanced years, persisted. "Isn't there at least one thing you but do remember?" "Well, if you insist, I'll tell you. I have painful memories of being killed 24 times."
Wonderful, thank you, Larry, for reading. And would somebody else want to read the right side?
May I?
Yes, go ahead, Anne. Thank you.
The old woman mumbled these mysterious words half to herself, her wrinkled face settling into a frown. When asked to explain, she began to tell her story bit by bit in a sorrowful tone, pausing frequently. "During my lifetime, I've seen the births of many children, grandchildren, and great grandchildren, but it is the way of life that death can strike anyone, young or old, and so it sometimes happened that a child or grandchild of mine would predecease me. We've had a total of 24 funerals in this house. Each time, I overheard people who came to offer their condolences say, if only the old woman had died instead. They at least would whisper it in another room out of deference to me, but my grandchildren and great grandchildren would deliberately say such things to my face. Their words killed me again and again. Truly, the mouth is the gateway to misfortune. We will never know how many people we may have injured or killed with our words.
Awesome. Thank you, Anne and Larry, for reading. Now, as I've said earlier, this story is, at least for me personally, is sad. However, we can get lots of lessons here to unpack. And let me just check Zoom. Let me see if we have more people joining. Okay. Hey, Marvin. Hey, Len. Hi, Len. Hans and Gwen. Oh, yeah, Benedict is here. That's awesome. All right, so let's move on. I'm gonna give a quick summary of the story. So there was a very old woman, okay, about 120 years old. Could you imagine being 120 years old? Now I don't know what the average um, age is in the Philippines at least. Is it maybe average lifespan? I think it's 50 or 60. I'm not sure. But yeah, could you imagine reaching 120 years old? Right? It's kind of tough, especially during these times. So there was a very old woman, and she had a visitor who said, "You know, you must have had many rare and interesting experiences over the course of your long lifetime. Would you please share one of those memories with me?" And then the old woman said, "I'm sure lots of things did happen, but my memory isn't what it used to be. I'm afraid I have forgotten them all," replied the old woman, shaking her head. Now the visitor sympathized, saying that that was only natural for someone over advanced years. Imagine 120 years old, but persisted, asked even further, "Isn't there at least one thing you do remember?" Then the old woman said, "Well, if you insist, I'll tell you. I have painful memories of being killed 24 times." Okay, let me repeat that 24 times. The old woman mumbled these mysterious words half to herself, her wrinkled face settling into a frown. Now, when asked to explain, she began to tell her story bit by bit in a sorrowful tone, pausing frequently. So the old woman said, "During my lifetime, I've seen the births of many children." Let me show you this here. "During my lifetime, I've seen the births of many children, grandchildren, and great grandchildren. But it is the way of life that death can strike anyone, young or old. And so it sometimes happened that a child or a grandchild of mine would predecease me. And we've had a total of 24 funerals in this house. Each time I overheard people who came to offer their condolences say, if only the old woman had died instead. They at least would whisper it in another room out of deference to me, but my grandchildren and great grandchildren would deliberately say such things to my face. Their words killed me again and again." So that's a quick summary of the story, and it's for me it's quite shocking. Were you shocked by it? How did you feel about the story, guys? Do you have any strong emotional reaction on the story?
I do.
You do, right? It's sad, but there's a lot of important lessons we can learn from this story. So let's begin. Let's start. In Buddhism, there are, and by the way, feel free to post your comments or questions on Skype, and we can go back to them later. So in Buddhism, there are three types of karmas. Okay, the first one is the karma of the body. Second one is the karma of the mouth, and the third one is the karma of the mind. Karma is a Sanskrit word meaning deeds, and it's referred to as seed. Okay. The three karmas are the karma of the body, the karma of the mouth, and the karma of the mind. And these sum up all of our deeds. The deeds of the body, mouth, and mind turn into invisible, indestructible energy. And this is called indestructible karmic energy. Now, this might sound not so clear to you guys, but I recommend to anyone who has not attended the Law of Cause and Effect lecture. Frank, one of our senseis, our teacher, is currently teaching the Law of Cause and Effect. Actually, last week was the first session. However, we're always welcome to join anytime. You know, there's going to be another one this week or next week. So wait for the announcements on Facebook or Skype. But for a quick summary of the Law of Cause and Effect, here's the Law of Cause and Effect. Good deeds bring good results, bad deeds bring bad results, and your own deeds bring your own results. Right? It's quite easy to understand, right? And if we go back here, out of the three karma, which do you think is the most important or the heaviest of them all? Can you guys take a guess?
The karma of the mind?
Right. That's right, Benedict. Yes. Because our mind controls what we say, or our mouth, and our body. So that is right. It's the karma of the mind. Okay. So moving on to the story, actually, so it's this is the old versus the young. You know, we expect older people to die first, right? At the back of our heads, this is kind of natural to us. Like, oh, because that person is old, he has a higher chances of dying or passing away, right? And then the younger ones, we think that they will have more years to come, that they will die later on. And this is one of our delusions. This is one of our upside down way of thinking, as what Sakyamuni Buddha taught. We have this automatic or autopilot way of thinking or mindset that the older someone is, or older people will die first, and then the younger ones will die later. But this isn't the case, right? We've seen lots of cases in the news, and I'm pretty sure you know someone, like a friend or a family member, who is like so young, like a teenager or maybe a toddler who died, and it was so shocking, right? So Buddhism reminds us that old people will not necessarily die first. However, we're not aware of it. Like, it's like our human nature. If we are not reminded of this, we are just gonna go on autopilot mode. And we just constantly think that, oh, I'm still young. I have many years to. I have about 50 more years to live, right? And I'm sure um, all of us here in Zoom right now are young, in their early 20s or late 20s. At least the ones that I know in Facebook, you all look so vibrant and fresh. You have really good skin, you look fresh, and you all look so young. Everyone is young here, right? However, we have this delusion that we have many years still, 50, 60, or more years to come, and live, right? And this is our delusion. Okay, we're not so aware of it, so that's the warning for each of us. The grandkids in the story, um, we can say that they are not aware of this. We can assume that they don't know much of Buddhism. They're not aware of the reality of life, and that's why they said those to the old lady, the poor old lady. And we can say that they are insensitive to impermanence, right? So Buddhism makes us aware of this truth. Buddhism reminds us of our impermanence. Okay, And there is something, and being constantly reminded about our impermanence is something that is, initially it can be shocking. We can be sad about it. However, if we just reflect deeply, it is empowering because it's giving us a chance. Like right here, right now, during the present moment, while I'm alive, I can make, you know tremendous changes with my life. I can do many things. I can plant more good seeds. So it's normal to feel like at first, if you feel like terrified about impermanence, but if you look at yourself at impermanence deeper, it is empowering. Okay. So if those grandkids in the story, if they learn about Buddhism and learn about impermanence, then they would have known the reality of life. They would have known that there is no preferred sequence, that there is no guarantee that older people die first. Right? So are we so far so good before we move on to the next topic?
Yes.
Okay. So we will now talk about the seniors. Correct me if I'm wrong. In the Philippines, it's the legal age of seniors is at 60, right? Is it right?
Yes,
Yes.
correct.
Right. And I
Get up.
don't.
I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
First, so,
Right. I think we don't have any guests from Japan or Vietnam here right now. All are Filipinos. So I wanted to ask them, but they're not around. Anyway, so in the Philippines, it's 60 years old, right? So those are the seniors. So seniors, and I know this is obvious, but these old people were once young, right? They were once young. If you look at the albums that you have at home, if you go to your ancestral home and look at the albums, you'll be surprised. Oh wow, my grandpa looks so handsome. My grandma looks really vibrant and beautiful before when she was 18 years old. You will be surprised. You will see these portraits of them. They look so elegant. They look so fresh, so vibrant. So these old people, these seniors were once young. They were once young people, and they were just like us. You know, they have had their um, you know crushes and love lives and all that stuff. They fooled around as well like us. However, if we see one outside, if we see an old person outside, we don't see that. We only see what's on the outside. We see them as old people, right? We don't see that they were young before, right? So people forget this. We often forget this, especially the younger ones, that the seniors are were young, just like us. And because of this, we feel like they're just a nuisance to society. There is a discrimination of the seniors, and it's happening all over the world. There's a lot of movies and documentaries stating this, that seniors are being abused at home, seniors are taken for granted, their needs are not prioritized. So this is sad, you know, this is so sad how society treats them. But absolutely, they must know a lot of things. They have lots of wisdom, right? Have you guys tried talking to your lolo or lolas? Eh, you notice that they speak a lot, right? They speak a lot from experience. Do you guys have the same experience? Like what topics do they usually talk about with you guys? If you want to share, you can just post on Skype or unmute your microphone. Wilma says family history. Yes, absolutely. In my case, my grandpa, he would share about the Japanese war. I think during that time, he was about maybe a teenager. I'm not sure, but he would always like to share about the Japanese War, and it's a favorite topic of ours show. So yeah. So they have lots of wisdom, these old people, no matter how they look on the outside, if even if they don't look fresh or vibrant like us, they have lots of wisdom that you can get. So if you want to ask for advice, do not hesitate to consult a senior. You'll be surprised, right? Now we'll move on to the younger ones. Okay, so the young ones, like us, every one of us in the Zoom is young. We look fresh. Um, we really have good skin and all that stuff. We're young. We have good energy. So for the young people, believe it or not, and it may be obvious, but believe it or not, young people will become old just as much as the old were once young, right? That's just how it is. We may look young now or fresh, whatever you call or identify yourself, but eventually we will be the seniors in the future, if we are blessed, of course, with old age, right? Because not everyone is blessed with old age. So the people criticizing old people, that's very bad. That's not a good thing to do because they're planting bad seeds for their future. And then imagine 40 or 50 years from now, when we become old, of course, we would expect kindness from the younger ones, right? So if we want to be treated with kindness when we become old, what do you think we should do right now when we're still young? Let's say uh, 30 or 50 years ahead in the future when we become old, assuming we'll be blessed with old age. If we want to be respected by the young people in the future, what do you think we should do at the present moment right now? Now, there's no right or wrong answer. I just wanna, if you have any thoughts about this, please feel free to post on Skype. Let me just check Skype. Um, okay. So, if we want to be treated with kindness when we become old, we must treat the old people with respect right now, in the present moment, right? Because that's how the law of cause and effect works. If we do it right now, if we respect the people we meet, the seniors outside, even if we don't know them, if we treat them with kindness, if we treat them with respect, then we are planting good seeds that we will harvest in the future when we become old, right? Let me just check our chat. Okay, Larry says, treat others with kindness regardless of age. Yes, absolutely. And Anne says, yes, right. Okay, so if we look if we look at old people, they need more compassion and kindness from us, right? Because they don't have much energy to move. They suffer from their physical bodies, so they need more compassion and kindness from us. So it's very important to be kind to them and take care of them, right? So in Buddhism, we are always reminded to plant good seeds as much as possible and as frequently as possible, because if we are not reminded about planting the good seeds, then we will be shocked, with the nature of our minds. If we're not reminded constantly, like what we're doing now, we have this tendency to indulge in bad thoughts and actions. And I'm actually guilty of that, based on personal experience I'm going to share later. So we are encouraged to help the seniors. We're encouraged to offer them help. If we meet someone outside who's a senior, we're always encouraged to do good deeds to these seniors. Okay, and we move on to our parents. Now, seniors are can sometimes be our parents too. Now, e- especially in my case, both of my parents are now seniors, and some of you guys here are younger than me, so maybe your parents are not yet that old, but eventually they will become seniors, right? And sometimes the kids forget about them and abandon them, and this happens everywhere all over the world. It's sad, right? Now, at least in the Filipino culture, it's not too much. It's not happening that much. We can say that, but some people are doing it, right? I'm guilty of it, actually. Let me just say this. Just so kids forget that they were raised and loved by their parents, right? And unless we're reminded of this constantly, the kids will just go about with their lives, getting more money, putting in 40 hours or I don't know, 50 hours of work and have their own family and so on, go on with their business. So any child, any kid has the potential to be like that. And I did that to my parents before. When I was in my early 20s, I just focused on work, 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 getting more money, and I'm not proud of it, but I did that before. And because of Buddhism, because of encountering Sakyamuni Buddha's wisdom, I got to realize that I need to spend more time with my parents and show them more kindness, more compassion, and more love because they like parents are a big deal in Buddhism. Len, would you mind? Are you online? Can you speak, Len, if you
Uh,
don't mind?
uh, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hello.
Would you mind
Yeah,
share?
what is it?
Yeah, would you mind sharing why parents are highly respected in Buddhism?
Oh, because they are the conditions that we are here right now. So if it weren't for them, if it weren't for those conditions, then we wouldn't be where we are right now. I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Did I get it right?
Uh, yes,
Hello.
absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, thanks.
That's right. So in Buddhism, it's very hard, and this is advanced topic by the way, but it's very hard to obtain human form. We're all humans here in Zoom, right? Of course. So it's very hard to attain human form. And our parents, like Len said, were conditions for us to become human, for us to enter the human realm. It's hard, and you'll know more about this. You'll know how hard it is um, in upcoming lessons. But it's hard to become human, and without our parents, we cannot be human, right? So this is our that's how we should be showing our gratitude to them. Our parents raised us and loved us when we were young, and and now that they're old, they kind of feel alone and they kind of feel useless and more rejected. The kids don't pay much attention to them. They just disregard them. you know they don't even call them, they don't visit them. So any kid has this tendency, because of our desires, because we want to get more wealth, we want to have our own home or our cars, which is not a problem. It's also very important, right? But this is just a reminder that we need to love our parents. And actually, I just want to share this. Um, since we're talking about parents and the law of cause and effect, the more you plant good seeds on your parents, it's you get one of the highest merit or good karma back. It's true, it's life changing for me. Like when I started loving my parents um, more than what I did before, I noticed that good things happened in my life. So just wanted to share that. So life is about planting seeds. If I take care of others, it's like I take care of myself already or two, right? So I hope everyone's inspired to take care of not just their parents, but for our seniors. So I have a challenge for everyone this week, or actually even after this Zoom call. The next senior you encounter outside, even if you don't know that person, do something good to that person, to that senior. Show kindness, smile, give them food. It's all up to you. So, um, and this is something we can do as baby steps, you know, because that's important. The most important thing is to take action, and not just with the senior, with your parents as well. Tell them that you love them. I don't know what their if you know what their favorite food is, cook for them or give them a call if it's not possible. If you're not with them, give them a call, and just simple things. And I wanted to share, Sana, the 7 charities that cost nothing, but we don't have much time left. Actually, let me just show it to you. Just 1 minute. Oops, here. Okay. So here are the 7 charities that cost nothing. Charity through your eyes, a friendly gaze. Charity through a friendly facial expression, a smile. Charity through your words, using kind words. Charity through your body, offering yourself, for example, giving your parents a massage. Charity through your mind, a charity through offering your place, and a charity through offering food and shelter. So this is like a quick guide. This is basically this doesn't cost anything, you know. So that's the challenge I have for you guys after this call, or you can do it tomorrow. The first senior you meet outside, or even your parents, show them kindness. So it's important. So that's all for the story tonight. And by the way, if you have any friends who are interested in learning more about Buddhism, feel free to refer them to the Facebook group. We always have lectures upcoming, and we post them on Skype and on our Facebook group. Also, we have one-on-one sessions with a Buddhist teacher for free. So if you want to ask advanced questions, feel free to reach out to me or Len, and we can always schedule a one-on-one session. You can ask anything about Buddhism or anything about this topic. And we're happy you could all join. This is member-supported Pure Land Buddhism Center of the Philippines. So that would be all, guys. If you have any questions, just post on Skype, okay? So good night.
Thank you, Kevs.
You're
Night.
welcome. Good
All
night.
right. Thank you. Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Night, everyone.
Good night, guys. Take care.